Oh, I'm having a premonition. Yes. You about to get schmacked, Sonic. So I already watched the trailer on my own because, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm very excited for Sonic Frontiers, so it's kind of challenging for me to react to this stuff for you guys because I, for the first time in a very long time, want to experience Sonic Frontiers for myself as a fan again. But I'm still happy to make content like this for you guys. I'm just kind of in a weird gray area when it comes to my fandom. So if it wasn't clear from the last short we did, I am very excited for Frontiers for many, many reasons. But like I said, no reaction this time. We're just gonna go right into the analysis. So let's not waste any more time and get right into it. All right, so right off the bat, this new Sonic Team logo looks wonderful. We've already seen it recorded on a cam from Gamescom, and I don't know if we saw the complete full thing, but now here it is in high quality. And I just want to say that this adds a little bit more oomph to the statements that Azuka is making, that this really is going to set the trend for the next 10 years of Sonic games. And they really are playing ball, and they're showing it in more ways than one. And so this really makes me excited. The next thing I wanted to point out is a very tiny thing, but I don't recall seeing these kind of turret-looking things before in the hub world. Also, you'll notice that this isn't simply an edited grayscale of the gameplay. There's actually some color, tiny little orange sparks here and there. There was a rumor stating that there is something similar to Breath of the Wild, in that every once in a while, the entire open zone, or for Breath of the Wild's case, open world, will almost have, it's called the Red Moon. You'll almost have a period of time in which all of the enemies intensify in quantity and ability. And it's a nice way for the game to kind of throw a monkey wrench into what could potentially feel like an empty world. Very promising that they're taking all the right notes from the games they're clearly inspired by. We did see some concept art of a lava world revealed in another video, and it looks like we're finally seeing a little bit of footage of this kind of volcano environment. I also wanted to say that it seems like every single new trailer for Sonic Frontiers seems to be showing a unique combination of existing mechanics we've seen. So this homing attack chain, groundbreaking. We've seen stuff similar to this, like the infinite boss fight in Sonic Forces. However, it is nice to know that this is a unique combination that we haven't seen so far. Hopefully this game really is filled to the brim with unique combinations. Here's an example of how every single boss seems to be very, very different. The only exception, I would say, is that kind of seemingly on-rails strafing boss that we saw before, where it generates a path as it flies through the air. That seems kind of samey when it comes to modern Sonic games before Frontiers, but every single boss I've seen since has been really, really unique in its execution, like this one. And so I'm very excited to play this game. Honestly, the main part of this game, which seems to be the open world gameplay, I am very, very excited for. Gotta stress that, because also wanted to say that there's a lot going on here that I don't even understand. Like, for example, it looks like the Chaos Emerald is being siphoned from Sonic. So he already had it, and it's being, like, taken from him. I have no idea what's going on, but that's a very good sign, considering me being somebody who has had experience with the franchise for a very long time. Me not really being able to break down large portions of this trailer means there's a lot of new things and mysteries to discover, which is the promises they're hoping to deliver on in this game. And so I'm getting more and more of the impression that they will succeed in doing so. That doesn't mean the game is perfect, but it might be the game we need. We're seeing that attack again that we had some problems with when it was first shown, and it seems to look different every single time I see it. So it's nice to know they are tweaking the animations in response to fan feedback, or not. Either way, it is a win. So we see Sonic flying on this interesting contraption, and it's only shown to us for a very short time. What's really interesting about this is it is scary similar to what was just shown off yesterday in the Nintendo Direct of footage from Breath of the Wild 2, or Tears of the Kingdom. I'm pretty sure this is intentional. This game's going to come out way before Tears of the Kingdom, but they're definitely appealing to the same kind of target audience. And so I think they're going to rope in some people with this. What I want to be careful not to miss is that this actually looks to be in a new world we haven't seen before. That is, of course, unless we can go up in the sky into any of the islands, which I am doubtful. I think this is a sky world, so this might be treated as a separate open zone, and the theme is in the sky. Because it seems like the clouds are the out-of-bounds area here, and there's a bunch of what seems to be mountains that protrude through the clouds that acts as the open zone we will be able to play on. And hey, that's great. We're getting a new peek at the variety of worlds in Sonic Frontiers. So now we're getting an extended look at these cutscenes that everyone is really excited about, and I'm excited about the content within the cutscene. And when I say that the animation could be better, I mostly just mean that Sonic is still lagging behind when it comes to the industry standard of video game animation, but that does not mean at all that the animation that we are seeing in Frontiers is not at all acceptable. It absolutely is acceptable. And in the context of the entire franchise, this is good. We just need to remember that just because we are excited for a game doesn't mean that we can't strive for it to improve. Again, we really need to be careful to future-proof our critiques, right? I am excited for Frontiers and very excited for the cutscenes, and I'm sure some of these cutscenes will be my favorite cutscenes in the entire series. All of that can be true at the same time as me feeling like it can be better. Sure, you could say it could always be better, but we should always be striving for Sonic to be better. And so let's not sweep our critiques under the rug just because we like a lot of things about what we're seeing. A conversation will have highs and lows. And it seems kind of robotic to take entirely one side, like things are just black or white. I don't know what it is about this, but I'm very excited to fight this boss. I just like the idea that the climbing up the legs mechanic from one of the other Titans, I believe its name was Ashura, it returns, but in a more dynamic way in a later boss fight. Now, what's interesting is it seems like this Titan actually has one of the emeralds, and it's the same color as the one that seemingly was siphoned out of Sonic earlier. So are these Titans powered by the emeralds, or are they guarding them? Considering that they are named Guardians and Titans, I wouldn't be surprised if they are meant to guard the emeralds, and there's this back and forth conflict about where the emeralds belong, who should have this power, and so on and so forth. And there it is, our boy Supersonic. Now, something about this, the way that this cutscene is presented, makes me believe that, I mean, there's more than one reason why I believe we'll be turning Supersonic more than once in this game. But also just the presentation of this cutscene does not scream end of the game to me, especially since this is a Titan we've seen in multiple cuts, and we know for a fact this Titan shows up very, very early on in the game. So this is before we get any sort of revelation about who Sage is or anything like that. The mystery still remains, and yet Sonic is turning super, which gives us the indication that this is not, which gives us the indication that Supersonic may show up more than once, especially since it seems like we're going to be collecting Chaos Emeralds on multiple different islands. So what or who is gonna beat the crap out of Supersonic? And honestly, I'm kind of excited to see that, because Supersonic's one of those things that kind of took the stakes out of a lot of the narratives in modern Sonic games, right? There was a pattern for a very long while that the story would commence as normal, Chaos Emeralds would be involved, and by the end, Sonic would get the Chaos Emeralds, and then the problem would be resolved through a epic battle with Supersonic. And there was never really a threat that threatened the power of Supersonic. And so I could kind of understand why they started to steer away from Chaos Emeralds, because it became too formulaic. Now, they're bringing Chaos Emeralds back, but using them in the way that I think they were afraid to back in the day, where they're going to have Supersonic still be powerful, but having the tricky balance of doing Supersonic justice while also doing the new villains justice seemed threatening. And so I'm gonna go ahead and theorize that this new power that Sonic seems to be getting from every single friend that he rescues will result in some sort of distortion. Sonic has been stated to say that that power he receives from saving his friends gives him a boost. So common sense leads us to believe that this Supersonic can be boosted even further. No, I do not think that means Hypersonic exactly, but what is this boosted Supersonic? Who is going to beat Supersonic? How is Sonic going to attain this boost? What is it going to look like? And I haven't been able to ask questions like this. So when I still analyze even Frontiers, a game that I am celebrating and very excited for, when I push for even more, it's the same story we've been saying all those years back. I'm a firm believer in Frontiers would not be the way it was without the fans and the movie. And not just the hardcore fans, mostly the casual fans who came back and told people what they thought. They didn't like the movie design. We're allowed to say some things we don't like. However, let it be on the record, I am super excited for Sonic Frontiers and to see all of these questions be answered in the story. And I'm very confident that they will be. However, every single element in the video game medium, storytelling, animation, graphics, world design, they all come together. And I know that Sonic fans are starved for the story element to take center stage. And this, I feel, is the game to do that. And so, all in all, this is a huge, huge W. I really do like that this kind of seems to mirror the movie in a lot of ways. In that Sonic is just kind of like staring down this giant, it's not the Death Egg robot, but the scale is almost the same and almost the realistic world around there. It's hard to say, it's debatable whether or not this was intentional, but this will work. Showing this battle and having it mirror the movie will definitely work to their benefit. And I don't know if implementing it in the game in this way was meant to refer to the movie, but showing this specific scene of Supersonic at Tokyo Game Show now, that's another indication that the marketing team is really, really aware. And I have a lot of faith in the marketing team right now. I just want to push for more polish. That's all I want. Just a little bit. I just want one thing, okay? And it ends before we even see the two characters clash, which again leads me to believe our boy Supersonic is about to get schmacked. I don't think he's gonna be enough, but that's a very, very good thing because it's shaking up the narrative for Sonic games, and that is huge. It could have very easily been a technically impressive open zone Sonic game, but the story could have very easily just been very surface level. All right, and that's about all I can say about that. If you want more videos like this, please let us know and leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Sonic the Hedgehog news and updates.